Hello everyone. It's James again. And today I want to take the time to answer a question posted on my last video by Sophia Chick. Thanks Sophia Chick for viewing and asking your question. And sorry you had to grow up in a narcissistically abusive home. It can truly leave its lasting effects. That being said, I'm glad you are doing the work on self-betterment. Now on to Sophia's questions. Sophia writes, James, is your mom still alive? I ask because my narc mom is dying of breast cancer and I'm confused about spending time with her. Prior to her terminal diagnosis, I had gone no contact with her. Now, she wants a relationship again with me. I'm torn. What are your thoughts? If you have done a video regarding this topic, can you guide me? By the way, this is the 4th time she's dying. So first I want to say before I answer the question. I've heard a lot of stories of narcissist parents getting really ill when they are elderly or getting older. And there are 2 reasons for this. It's my experience that many narcissists lead very self-destructive lives. Both emotionally and physically. They may be extreme on both ends. From neglecting their health. Heck, even sabotaging it to get attention. Such as eating junk food and getting really fat. Or taking steroids to look amazing for a short period of time. Only to end up with heart attacks and kidney disease. Now I'm not saying everyone that takes steroids is a narcissist. However, the narcissists that do it recklessly thinking there will be an answer or cure they can con someone into giving them if they do end up getting sick. So the 2 reasons is they are just reckless people. That think someone will run to their aid and fix their problems once the problems come up. Or they wreck their health on purpose because they want attention. Which is called Munchausen syndrome. Which I believe my mother has really bad. Which can go hand in hand with narcissistic personality disorder. Along with other cluster B disorders. That being said, I do want to put a possible 3rd reason. And remember, we aren't supposed to take delight in what God's punishment is for those that abused us. And it can be hard and even something we need to work on in this regards to not feel this way. But it's possible that these illnesses is something that has to do with what they have done to us. Again, I don't know. I don't even pretend to know. But it's possible. That being said, you might find the narcissist though really sick. Will be terminally sick several times over. And we'll get to that in answering this question. Now regarding the first part of things. Yes. My mother is still living and is very ill like your mother is, Sophia. And like your mother, she's been ill for quite some time. And there have been many instances where it's supposed to be the end, but isn't. Now, what's my role in dealing with her? Well, I was no contact for quite some time. But allowed myself to have limited contact with her due to her illnesses. That being said, when I say limited, I really mean limited. You see, I remind myself every day what she is. Ollie Matthews, who has a very good channel, many years ago talked about how these narcissists, especially our narcissist parents, are like Terminators. Go and watch it if you haven't. Also, there's a segment on a compilation video about narcissism and evil demons. And Ollie's part is towards the beginning. And I and many others have mentioned such things as well. But Ollie talks about how these machines can't shut down. Much like the Terminators until they reach their programmed objective. And that's the abuse and destruction of you. You can't argue with it. You can't reason with it. It doesn't know pity or remorse. Everyone knows that line, right? And there are a lot of other YouTubers that use this as a point of reference when dealing with these types of people. Or machines. Or demons, if you will. It's hard to say who said it first. But it's amazing we are all thinking along the same lines, that this is what these so-called people are. And if you can find the clip, and you choose to have limited contact, watch that clip before and after you see her. Or another clip of your choosing where many of us have talked about everything with a narcissist is a trap. Narcissists don't even blink their eyes unless there's a reason for it. If they are speaking, there's a reason. If they get up and walk across the room, there is a reason. And it usually is a trap for you. And they will plan their traps out months in advance to make you look bad. And they will never stop. And actually they get worse with age. Because they have less outlet to do the old tricks they used to pull on people. So when they get a chance, their old Terminator operating system turns on. And the Terminator music starts playing in their heads. And they are in search and destroy mode. Shout out to Ollie Matthews. So, what do I do? How do I handle this? Well, I have very, and I do mean very, limited involvement. I keep conversations very short. Or a visit even shorter. I change subjects often. Just like she might have done in her younger years to me. To keep the conversation from going into an area where I don't want it to go. I tell her nothing about me and my life. And who's in my life and who's not. It also helps not living nearby. Let's say you live in a different state. You might have one 5-minute phone call twice a week. If you live in a different state but a great distance away, you might stop by briefly once a month. That is if you choose, like I did, to have very limited contact. And I only choose to do this because I feel at this stage in my life I can handle it. And I don't say that to say I'm at a top level of my healing and self-betterment. Because I'm not. However, since I start making videos many years ago, and hearing everyone's stories along with mine, and truly getting to understand myself, and our abusers, it's allowed me to take a step back and see what's going on for what it is. And on top of that, there was a minister talking online. I forget his name right now. If someone can think of it, let me know. But he talked very heavily how demons and witches can be a part of your family and you not even know it. Much like some of us in the narcissistic abuse community talk about. And when this minister was talking about this, he was also talking about honoring even a toxic parent that is taken over by such evil. He mentioned that sometimes quietly moving to a different state and starting your life there without horrible back and forth is the best way to honor them. Yes, they were abusive. Yes, what they did to you was evil. But you don't want to sink to their level. Because if you do, you are then becoming evil yourself. There are some that have also done the right thing when their narcissist parent died. They showed up and buried them decently. Or whatever they chose to do. Such as saying their prayers and moving along their way thereafter. For me, I know my mother will never ever change. And even though she still tries her games of manipulation. However, I keep things short. And I'm far enough away where I don't get tangled up. And when she says things to bait me against others, I just either switch the subject. Or I simply say, I don't know what to tell you. And then I switch the subject. Because the baiting you against another is the first thing they will try to do. You know, your sister or your brother said such and such. Or this person said they were going to do this and never did. 99% of all of what is being said is a lie. And if you are wrong about believing a lie, and it's really the truth, don't blame yourself. You are talking to a compulsive liar. And you are to act accordingly. Look. Everyone dies. Even narcissists. And I think they hang on more than the average person because how do you repent when you have no way to do so? Because they don't feel bad for the evil they've done to others. At least that's my possible reason why they hang on for so long. Also, the demon that is in their body doesn't want to have to look for a new body to inhabit. But during this death process, even if your parent is a narcissist, you might feel compelled to be there in one way or another. And you know what that means. It means you're a healthy, decent human being that is capable of love. And no matter how bad she treated you, You don't want her to leave this earth without you knowing that you were there. Because you don't want to have regrets. And guess what? That is absolutely normal. And there's nothing to be ashamed about for feeling this way. Now, with that being said, should you break contact? I can't make that choice for you. It's going to be entirely up to you. But if you do break contact, remember what you are dealing with. Just like Ollie Matthews said, you are dealing with a machine that don't stop. And won't stop. And can't shut down from its objective until it dies. So even if things seem like they are going well, and they are happy to see you, don't fall for it. It's a trap. Realize and understand you are there for you. For your closure. And that's okay. Be kind and decent. Keep conversations short. Switch topics if need be. Let others worry about her health care. And don't get baited against this person or that person. And be prepared for others though to fall into the trap in getting baited against you. And if that happens, you don't have to explain yourself. Just walk away from such situations. Because I'm sure there are some flying monkeys around. But with that said, it's my experience there are less of these people around the older our narcissists get. Remember, this narcissist has burned bridge after bridge with people. And by the time they get old, most of their so-called friends have died. Or are in such bad health themselves they don't have time to deal with your narcissist parents' bull crap. But with that being said, be on guard. And keep things short and sweet if you so choose to break contact. And remember why you are doing such a thing. You are there for your closure. Because you are never going to get closure from the narcissist. So don't seek it. But you are giving yourself a sense of closure. Knowing you did what you felt was the right thing. And what you feel the Most High God would want you to do. If that makes sense. Now, in the same comment thread, Sophia Chick also says, I used to take everything personally. In fact, when someone would say to me, don't take it personally, I would get super mad, thinking no one understood my current state of mind. After learning about personality disorders, I now understand what it truly means when someone says, don't take it personally now. Sophia mentioned this, I believe, because this is what the video was talking about. One of the things many of us narcissistic abuse survivors share with the narcissist. Or maybe in a lot more of a mild way than the narcissist. Though it's still there. Is the hypersensitivity to things that aren't personally aimed at us. And sadly us thinking that it is. And it's something that does require work on our part. And this is something that if you break contact you will need to work on as well. In a different way. Because there will be things aimed at you if you break contact. But you will need to learn to shrug it off. Walk away. And change subjects like just mentioned before. I want to thank Sophia Chick for her question. I do appreciate it. With that said, I hope everyone had a blessed day. And until next time. Bye for now. And be good to yourself.